Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. This morning, Paul Urquhart, sitting off camera, he brought in his little control line that he's converting over to remote control, and it's a Nobler control line plane. And this one's called, where mine's called Project Warlock, this is called Project Nobler, because he's going to try to get this thing to fly beautifully remote. So what he brought it over for was he's got a little issue with some twist built up into the tail end of the aircraft. I'll fire up the GoPro and show you guys where it's at. So today's video is going to be deciding on how we want to cut the back part of the fuselage, because they're going to be long cuts, to try to get the twist out and then re-glue it back together again. So let me fire up the old GoPro and I'll show you what we're going to be working on. Alright, here's the problem we've got to work with. As you can see, it comes down and then it angles off to your right just quite a bit. There's probably about 3 to 5 degrees off. And when he was building the plane, it was a kit that was missing a lot of parts, so it didn't have the formers in. So as things progressed from the rear part of the canopy towards the tail, it just started to induce a little bit of a twist. Now let me kind of show you from the bottom. It's not too bad. Everything is pretty even from the bottom until you get right to about here, which is going to be right about the front part of the servo. What do we want to call it? The servo mount. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in, remove the servos from both sides. There is a former right here. We're going to try to leave that one intact to begin with. We're going to come across the top and right below this, because I don't want to over upset how the horizontal stabilizer is mounted, because that is actually mounted true to the wing. So we'll come underneath it all the way to the back, and this is where the slit will end. This part of the tail end of the fuselage, we're just going to go ahead with a Zona saw, come in and just remove it. So our whole goal is going to be to come from both sides, come all the way back to here, get it, rotate it. Sorry about that, I forgot. We're going to have to cut the bottom too. So we're going to have to see how well this is going to work with the vertical stabilizer mount, because this is where it's going to get funky on us. But so it's going to be cut across each side, across the bottom, and then see what kind of twist we can get out of it. And then we'll just end up gluing this tail piece back on, or just putting a whole new tail piece back on and sanding it down. So all right, let me get the camera set up and let's see what we can do. Let's get started, and you guys can listen to some music. La música! Alright, the problem we're going to have here, and I didn't realize it until right now, Paul inserted, he has plywood in the back, so we're going to have to, this side of the plywood here is cut, and there's not much I can make an adjustment. What I'm going to have to do on this side is come in and probably about, I don't know, it's maybe a 1/16 of an inch, cut down, try to remove this part of the plywood, just so we can try to rotate the steel on the inside, the rod, to get this to rotate just enough to glue it back in place. And then we'll just go ahead and figure out how to patch with something on the back side, even if it's either another little piece of light ply, or just a little strip of balsa glued in the opposite direction of grain. So let me go ahead and cut and see what we can do. Alright, as you can see, we've got everything cut apart, and I put another slit in the bottom, and it does rotate nicely. Hopefully you can see that. But what now we're going to have to do is figure out how to get this thing to rotate the way we want it to, but keep the the horizontal stabilizer straight. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably get some wood together. We'll make up a little box jig just for it to sit into, just so that we can make sure that everything is straight according to, let's just call it the top side, which for what you guys are looking at is the bottom. This is the top of the horizontal stabilizer going up front, to make sure that we're square to that, and then we can rotate the tail. So let me see what I got to put together real quick, and we'll bring it right back. All right, it is done. We came in, we took the little smart level, put it on each side, got it zeroed out, and then we came in on this side here, and I'm hoping the numbers are going to dance around, and it's hard for me to do this talking to you guys with one hand. Anyway, it came out at 89.4, so we're very happy because this was trued up to the wing, so that we got this 89.4. We're just going to call it 90. So success. All right, what I ended up doing on this side was this little wedge here. When we cut it, we had to cut it a little bit wider to get it to rotate that way. So I came in to put a wedge in, and this little piece of wedge right here is a little wedge of Sitka spruce. So this one's got some spruce in it now. So that's the wedge in there, and it came in filled with balsa strips. He's going to have a little bit of repair work to do with it. I readdressed this situation back here, and I put a little doubler on the back just to stiffen it up for where he's got the servo. But this side over here is the same way. All the repairs have been done to it, and it's rock solid and straight, and it's ready to go on to its next step. So that ended up being about 3 hours. You know, it's when it comes time to try to straighten out a fuselage frame, and if any of you guys watched my Taylor Craft, you know, 1 year 7 months of trying to straighten out something due to crashes, improper repairs. So anyway, yeah, so this is done. So let's call this one a video, and I'll see you guys probably later on this afternoon when I come back down to work on the Warlock. So see you guys later. Bye.